I fought with my body from 2011 to 2018, trying to lose weight. And I ended up heavier than when I started. And I used to say things to myself like, junk food tastes good, and it helps me to feel better about my horrible workday. Thoughts like that keep us trapped in overeating and hating ourselves, which, by the way, fuels overeating. It took me a long time to figure out that my emotions were just hijacking my diet. Even on a keto diet, it kept happening. Feel bad? Cashews replaced ice cream. Bored? Making peanut butter cookies replaced running to the store to buy chocolate. But now that I figured it out, I'm going to tell you the 3 things I wish I knew that helped me to lose weight and keep it off. It's how I've managed to be at goal weight for the last 7 years. And guess what, Wellness Warrior? You can do the same thing. Since everyone wants to be thin and fit, we need to start with why on earth we eat garbage in the first place. There's 3 main reasons that I see that we eat emotionally. And the third one? Okay, we're going to start with the obvious. It's called emotional eating because you do it when you're upset and you're trying to feel better. You're trying to be comfortable and positive. What we don't talk about as often is the flip side of that coin, where we are happy, excited, celebrating with food. So these are things like, it's my birthday and I have a cake. It's Valentine's Day and I'm going to receive chocolate. Female gets chocolate. It's Easter, chocolate again. I want you to know that eating carbs that enhance our mood reinforces this idea that food makes us happy. I want to pause there for a second because I want to point something out. The same way that another person cannot make me happy, food cannot make me happy. But it can be a distraction, which is what's really happening there. Now, this idea, though, that food makes us happy leads nicely into the second reason that we eat garbage, because we all want to be happy and are encouraged to incorporate things into our lives that contribute to happiness. So then snacking is this thing that we do when we're bored, when we're annoyed, when we're frustrated, we get something to eat. And this eating garbage habit is born. We have dessert with every meal. We have fruit at breakfast. We have granola bars or cookies or chips or whatever at lunch. And then at supper, we will again have cookies and cake and ice cream and all kinds of. We are constantly having dessert. It amazes me that there are adults that have dessert every single day. I used to be one of them. I used to have dessert every single day. Dessert is actually defined as a sweet course served at the end of the meal, meaning the meal was over. What causes us to add non-nutritive garbage to the end of our meal? Well, it's because we're addicted to carbohydrates. That's sugar, for those of you that might not be aware. Carbohydrates and sugar are 2 words for the same stuff. We are addicted to sugar. And you know how you feel sorry when you hear about people who have addictions and, we wonder, like, how did they get themselves into that bad situation? And many of them believed that they were going to be able to manage whatever it was that whether it was cigarettes, alcohol, some other substance, they thought they would have been able to manage it. Here's the thing. They knew that they were taking a risk and weren't able to manage it. We've been building up our tolerance for sugar since we began eating solid food. Of course, by the time that we are overweight and trying to diet, we're addicted. Now that's minimally 10 years. Yeah, there are 10-year-olds who are already dieting. Their excessive carbohydrate consumption has led them to be obese. We're eating the stuff, we're feeding our addiction, and we don't even know that we're doing it. When you start keto and that addiction hits you, you end up believing that it's because you feel restricted. I just like what I like, right? And I like chocolate. Did I really? Did I like it more than my health? Because by the time that I found keto, I was aware that garbage was causing my weight issues and my health issues, which is the situation of most people when they find a keto diet. And I learned about my sugar addiction at 46 years old when I started that keto diet and the carbohydrates were pulling all over me. That keto flu that most people complain about, it's not a flu, Wellness Warrior. Those are withdrawal symptoms. The same withdrawal symptoms that people who quit smoking, alcohol, and other substances live. Again, we have to ask, how is it possible that so many people can be addicted to sugar and not know that they're addicted? Well, keto flu is a good step in the right direction of understanding why we don't know we're addicted. There are people out there who want us fat and sick because that makes them money. Food companies, the diet industry, the workout industry, pharma, and medical. There is so much money to be made off of you and I not knowing what garbage is doing to our health. And I honestly thought that maybe we got here by accident. Like, we just didn't know that eating this way was going to ruin our health. You see so many doctors overweight. They're doctors. If they knew that what they were eating was ruining their, why would they keep doing it? Why? But when I found keto, I started to find some doctors that had figured this out, but they didn't explain how we got here. The first one to explain that was Dr. Mark Hyman. I read his book, Food, What the Heck Should I Eat? And I learned about something called food lobbyists. Those are professionals hired by food companies to fight the government and stop them from putting rules and laws in place to protect us from food companies feeding us garbage. And these food companies also help the pharmaceuticals as well, right? Because we eat the garbage and then, of course, the farmer can step in and we'll take medications that make us sicker. Yeah. Now, Mark Hyman interviewed another guy named Michael Moss. He's not a doctor. He's an investigative journalist. He wrote the book Salt, Sugar, Fat. When I read that book, I was just like, what the hell is what am I learning here? He exposed that food companies not only strategize to make the most addicting food possible, they organize themselves to create the Eat Less, Move More campaign. So understand what that means. Different companies who were competitors came together to work together to create the it's my fault that I'm overweight because I didn't work out enough idea, when they knew it was the highly addictive processed foods that they were feeding me that was causing my obesity. These books are linked in the description below so that you can go read the stuff for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. But these books are the books that helped me to completely reevaluate the food that I was eating and how I would keep my body healthy for as long as possible. I've since read a bunch more books, but these were the two I started with. What you're really getting in this video and in my channel altogether, Wellness Warrior, is the benefit of 7 years of research that I've been doing to understand how to stop my emotional eating. I want you to win. So in order for you to win, you need to understand that it's not your fault that you're overweight or living health issues, but it is your problem. It's your life that's not happy. It's your body that is failing. And it's your family that's going to miss you when you can't join them on the activity, or even worse, right? When you learn that carbohydrates are sugars, and you remember that your doctor had told you that you need to eat less sugar, make the connection, Wellness Warrior. When you learn that seed oils, which were originally produced to make soap back in the late 1800s, by the way, contribute to insulin rising and pushing you towards diabetes and poor health, find out where the seed oils are in your diet and remove them. You're going to be shocked to learn that seed oils are in many of the healthy diet foods that we are encouraged to eat. Seed oils are also in the normal foods that we are encouraged to eat. Seed oils are in your house right now under the name canola oil, vegetable oil, and margarine. You shouldn't be eating those things. They're toxic. They're causing your body harm. In order to heal your body, you need to eat healthy food. That means you're going to need to know what healthy food is. Meat, fish, poultry, and eggs are healthy foods for us to eat. Low carbohydrate vegetables can be part of a keto diet, and although many people consider them healthy, I consider them entertainment and therefore optional. And the reason I consider them entertainment is because the amount of carbohydrates that you and I need to eat is absolutely none. Our body makes all the carbohydrates that you ever need. Don't need to eat them, Wellness Warrior. So if you put them on your plate, understand you're doing that for entertainment. Now, high carbohydrate fruits and vegetables are therefore not even healthy in my opinion. They're worse than, they shouldn't be part of your diet. They are harming you. But you guys are adults and you're going to decide what you're going to eat. To help you out, there's a video linked in the description that guides you through how to use a food calculator so that you're going to be able to check how much carbohydrate is in whatever it is you put on your plate. So all the plants, that's where they would be coming from. I want to add one more thing about high carbohydrate foods. I really put them in this absolutely unhealthy, don't even bother with them category because they also fuel your addiction. Anything that's going to push you towards eating garbage and raising your weight and raising insulin and causing you to be unhealthy shouldn't be part of your diet. So here's something that we talk about, but we don't really analyze it that much. That talks to this idea that high carbohydrate foods push our addiction. We all know that eating a little bit of sugar can open up our appetite. Many of us use this trick to get our kids to eat, right? I remember when my daughter was a baby and she wouldn't eat her food. I would take a little bit of banana, right? That dessert, put it in her mouth, and eventually she'd start eating. The reason that that opens up your appetite, Wellness Warrior, is because it triggers your body to store energy and therefore makes you hungry. Yeah, that's how toxic sugar is. That as soon as we start eating it, our body is on high alert. It's looking out for sugar and it's going to put some sugar in your body in storage to prepare for the incoming. That's how dangerous high sugar in our blood actually is. So how does this work for you and I? You're at work, you walk by the snack table and you grab a cookie because that's the habit you've created for yourself. A few minutes later, you're actually hungry. Maybe you learned that your coworkers are going out for lunch, and so you tag along despite not being hungry. You don't want to feel left out or anything, but as soon as you start eating, most of what we eat at lunchtime has some carbs in it, and eventually you can finish the meal. It's noon, you're not hungry yet, but I have to eat now because heaven only knows what will happen a few hours later if I get hungry. So you start eating that sandwich you brought or whatever else. And what happens? Or maybe you start with your dessert because everybody has room for dessert, right? And by the time you get through that meal, you were hungry. Wellness Warrior, eating when we aren't hungry makes us fat and causes insulin to rise. Those insulin rises lead to health issues, by the way. But that's a conversation for another time. I want to point out that food companies have tricked us into solving emotional problems, life issues with food. Can we all agree that eating chocolate does not fix my relationship or improve my performance at work? What we need to do is solve our real world problems by taking the time to engage in our world, right? Seek couples counseling, take a training at work, or take a class at your local college to improve your skills at work. The only way to solve a problem is to look right at it and then address it. We need to accept that sometimes life feels hard. You're trying to lose weight or you're trying to heal some kind of health problem. The quick and painless answer is not likely going to give you the lasting results you're looking for, Wellness Warrior. Please pay attention to who benefits from the quick and easy, simple answer, right? They're putting this in front of you because they're going to benefit. Just take this pill or eat this bar means that you will need to take that pill or eat that bar to maintain whatever outcome you got. Now they have you, right? You're in their system. The truth is, to lose weight and keep it off, you need to change the way that you're going to eat forever. And to accomplish that, you need to learn to cook those foods, so those healthy foods, and actually like them. That's going to take a lot of work because you're not just getting over an addiction, Wellness Warrior. You're also going to be retraining your palate to like healthy food. You've been eating sweet, sugary nonsense for so long that when we eat vegetables, when we eat even meat, it doesn't taste good to us, which blows my mind because we got to where we are on this planet right now. So we control everything. Animals run from us. And we got here fighting them with our brain, not our hands. Because if we had to fight a lion with our hands, we wouldn't win. We fought them with our brain, and our brain got big and we got smart as heck because of the meat we were eating. I need you to understand that for every influencer who promotes this idea that we can't possibly eat healthy all the time, right? We need to have a treat occasionally, every once in a while. Those people don't have your best interest at heart. Can we even just acknowledge that the attitude that we need to eat junk keeps us focused on fake food? My goal for you, Wellness Warrior, is success. And the way that you're going to succeed is to learn to cook delicious, healthy food and then enjoy that meal. Now, there's so much more to why eating fun keto treats will pull you off track, but I can't go into that here. I encourage you to join my Discord because in that community, I can talk in more depth about why there's so many problems with eating garbage, eating keto treats and all the stupidity. But if I try to do that here, my video is going to get shut down. So join me over there. And one of the most important things that we talk about in my coaching calls and also in the Discord is that you need to come first, Wellness Warrior. You don't get mad at your friends for being overweight, right? We don't do that. And when they're ready to work on it, when they're ready to lose weight, we are happy for them. We encourage them. But for ourselves, there's this belief that when we start a diet, we need to be at goal weight a month from now. That's not going to happen. But putting that idea in my head messes with me. We're the hardest on ourselves because, first of all, we hate admitting that we're flawed. Second of all, we see the hard efforts we've put in the past at losing weight and it didn't work. So we feel like we can't even do this thing. And both of those ideas aren't even coming from within us. Because this is coming from years of programming from companies they're priming us to buy their quick fix products that do not work. They don't work. You're going to buy it and you're going to get into their system, right? It's a money grab. And we've been in this trance of believing that they're trying to help us for so long, we can't see that it's a money grab and we fall for it every time. By being as kind to yourself as you would be to a friend, you can make better decisions. Like starting with a plan, right? Because I look in the mirror just like you and I see my flaws, but then I'm kind to myself and I talk about how am I working on this. I'm encouraging you to start with a meal plan. What am I going to be eating for the next few weeks while I'm doing keto and figuring this all out? You need to be willing to adjust, Wellness Warrior. The meal plan that you start with might not be the meal plan that you end up on. Maybe you think you're going to like these foods and then you don't. As quickly as possible, make adjustments so that you can stay on track and actually get yourself under 20 grams of carbs per day. It took me a while to get myself under 20 grams of carbs per day because it's not obvious. You're not counting carbs typically, so you need to figure this all out. And most importantly, above everything else, I want you to be willing to eat healthy no matter what the situation you find yourself in. If you invited your friend over to your house for supper, you'd want to respect the diet that they eat. Your friends will do the same for you. If you're going to eat out with friends, you're going out to eat or you're going to their place, you need to be willing to talk about your food preferences, be involved in picking the restaurant. You need to give yourself the chance that you're going to have something to eat that keeps you on plan. And then I want you to be proud of yourself for putting your health ahead of someone else's questions about why you're eating the way that you're eating. They're going to understand why you're eating the way that you're eating when you've been at goal weight for 7 years, right? Trust me, my family gets it now. And can I just point out that it took me 3 months to heal my joint pain? It took me 5 months to lose 80 pounds, but it took me more than 2 years to understand how brainwashed I was about garbage. Knowing that sugar causes inflammation and weight gain does not erase 46 years of eating to feel better. And actually, I wasn't even just eating to feel better. I was eating to feel normal. This is going to take time, Wellness Warrior. This isn't about perfection. It's about being healthy. Because a healthy body regulates its weight. So now, I want to hear from you. Which of these tips feel like the best place to start for you? Put it in the comments below. And when you're done, check out this video about emotional eating. I pinned it to the first comment.